Now, the Livewire.
We have such a resurgence of younger people finding out about this genre and everything, and people asking me like these technical questions like, so are you using the fry scream technique? Are you using inhale screams? Are you this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I am just screaming my head off the same way I have for a quarter century. And luckily I can still talk right now.
Here's the Livewire with Branden.
We're headed out on the Livewire. I'm Branden, and before we get started, I got to thank you for being a part of the Livewire. Whether this is your first episode or you've been listening for a while, I truly appreciate you spending your day with us. And if you enjoy what you hear, take a second to subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about the show. That's how we continue to grow and bring you conversations with incredible artists. And we grow this rock community together here in Northwest Arkansas. This week, we're joined by a voice that helped define post-hardcore for more than 2 decades. Shane Told, lead vocals of Silverstein. We talk with him before the band's return to Northwest Arkansas. They'll be taking the stage at Ozark Music Hall with their longtime tour mates' Story of the Year. We dive into life on the road, what keeps Silverstein evolving after all these years, and the band's connections with their fans. So hold on tight. We're about to talk to one of the most respected frontmen in post-hardcore. It's Shane Told, and he's on the Livewire. On the horn with Shane Told from Silverstein. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. It's good to chat.
Man, I am stoked to have you here on the podcast and even more excited to see you all live out at Ozark Music Hall. This is coming up August 4th. Those tickets, just a few available at ozarkmusichall.com. This is called Camp Screamo Tour. How's summer camp going for you, Shane?
Amazing so far. Really, really, really fun vibes. You know, a lot of times when you do, summer touring, a lot of it's like festivals. A lot of times we're in Europe and stuff. But this time, we're kind of doing like a club tour across the USA with a band we've wanted to tour with for like 20 years. And it finally made it happen with our friends in Story of the Year.
Until the day I die, I'll spill my heart for you.
Looking forward to coming through Arkansas.
That's right, and it just got bigger, too. You guys must be doing something right, because you just announced another run of tours in the fall time. So you're doing the second camp.
The sequel, Camp Screamo 2, because every horror movie has to have a sequel, you know what I mean? So we rolled that out. Yeah, it's going to be a little colder for that leg, but some big cities like Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Los Angeles, New York, so we're adding in kind of the major markets in the second run, which is kind of not usual. Usually you play those on the first leg, but we're really excited to keep this thing rolling all year long.
What's something that maybe people don't know about Story of the Year now that you've been on tour with them a little bit?
Well, everyone knows they're a real hard partying band, and that's true. That is true. I can confirm that is true. The rumors are true. Yes, those guys get down. It's even now that we're all in our 40s, they still party. No, there's nothing. I haven't learned anything. That's all I know.
They're still partying.
They rock. They rock live. I don't know how they do it. Like they absolutely kill it every single night. Like they play so good. They sound so good, and then they're just like going hard on the party train every night. So I have a lot of respect for that. I've had to slow down a little bit in my mid-40s. I had a couple beers last night and I was like, okay, I'm ready for bed. So those guys can drink me out definitely under the table.
And of course, touring with a band like that in your 40s, it's a little different, than when you guys kicked everything off in 2000. But you're credited as one of those bands that have just stayed together. You guys have you've endured a lot. You keep on making music and playing music. What do you write that up to? How do you guys stay together like that?
Yeah, it's tough, because I've only really ever been in one band, and I've been in this band for 26 years. So, we've kept pretty much all the same members. We've had one member change in the last 25 years. And we've stayed together. We really haven't stopped. I mean, we'll write a record, we'll record a record, and then we'll go on tour for 2 years and like rinse, repeat,
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a crazy ride. It kind of feels like one really, really long day almost. So sometimes, I wonder if I should have spent more time smelling the roses along the way, but at the same time, we work hard, and that's been important, I think, for our longevity, our success. I really wouldn't trade it for anything. I think that our consistency is something that our fans notice, and that's important too, I think, now, and that's the reason why people want to come see us play. They know they're going to hear the hits, a few curveballs here and there, but a lot of people really truly love our entire catalog, which is special.
I just love the name Silverstein. We can back that all the way up to the start of this, because Silverstein, I have a daughter, a 2-year-old daughter, and I read her Silverstein books, which that was where you guys kind of based the name off of. Were you basing the name off of the great stories or the scary picture at the back of every Silverstein book? I always feel like, I get through the entire book and then I look at that picture and I think the guy was kind of crazy for picking that photo of all photos to use on the back of the book.
Yeah, kind of all of the above. I think it was fate that we named our band that. Just the fact that there was a Shel Silverstein book where the sidewalk ends happened to be in Josh's basement, happened to be on the bookshelf near where we practiced. And that first practice, I didn't have any lyrics written. So I just pulled whatever off the bookshelf. It was alongside National Geographic magazines and everything else. And, when I pulled that out and started looking through it, I remembered reading it when I was a kid. I knew he was a musician, and I knew that he'd done some, I knew he was a activist for marijuana, and I knew that he'd done some stuff in Playboy. I knew he was a bit controversial. But of course, once we named the band after him, I learned all about him.
Of course.
And he had just passed away actually a few months before we started the band too.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little bit of celebrating his legacy. Also just I think a name that had some meaning. We had a show coming up, so we needed something.
You got to get a name. Yeah. I've talked to bands like this. They're like, man, we got a song and people want us to make a name. We don't even know what to do. So I'm glad you came up with a good one. And, obviously 20 years later, you guys are still rocking. One of those things about bands that have gone on for a long time, have resurgence after resurgence, is being the band, not just a band that used to be a band. So what keeps you guys with that? Is it practice? Is it making the new music? What keeps you guys on the forefront of music?
Oh, that's a tough question, man. You're hit the hard-hitting questions this afternoon. I like this. You know what, man? Honestly, we don't do a lot of practicing, really. We've been a band so long. The only practice we really do is when we're geared up for a tour, we'll take a day or two before the tour, and we'll go over the set list, we'll go over the songs, we'll make sure everyone remembers everything, and then a lot of the stuff we talk about is the glue, the in between stuff. So what are we gonna say here, and how long are we gonna stop, and do we need a tune here, or but very boring stuff, I think, to the average fan. But I think when we start to get creative, that's usually when it's okay, we're home from tour, we're separated, and people will kind of find their own muse, their own influences, their own, for example, Josh bought this really cool synthesizer yesterday. I don't know what he's going to try to do with that, but I know he's going to show me some shit that he came up with on there. And I'll be like, oh, dude, that is dope, and we'll carve a song around it. So, it really can come from anything, but a lot of it comes from kind of our own individual, inspiration, and then bringing that to the group. And then, inevitably when I sing over it, it sounds like Silverstein. So It kind of all works out in the end to kind of be our sound and be our style, even when we kind of meander into some uncharted waters here and there.
Well, I'll tell you this, there's a lot of fans that look up to you and your vocals, because it's tough to scream, especially if you're doing it 4 to 5 times a week, keeping that voice, and it takes practice. How do you keep your voice fresh?
That's just me screaming into a microphone as loud as I can. And the other funny thing too is a lot of the younger kids, we have such a resurgence of younger people finding out about this genre and everything, and people asking me like these technical questions, like, so are you using the fry scream technique? Are you using inhale screams? Are you this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I am just screaming my head off the same way I have for a quarter century, and luckily I can still talk right now.
So it's coming from the soul. It's not really a technique. It's just your soul screaming.
That's right. It is very hard, and there are definitely periods of time when I look back and I go, damn, I wish I just never started the screaming thing, but now I have to do it, and it's part of my thing. Switching between the singing and the screaming, and it's difficult, but it's also I think rewarding that we get to do something that's our music is. We wear a lot of hats in Silverstein musically. We do everything from like, borderline extreme metal to, punk rock, pop punk, to like almost like folk rock sometimes with when we strip down to acoustics and stuff like that. So it's fun. We don't get bored. We have a lot of different sounds we can pull from, a lot of different things we can do. Dude, it ain't easy on tour. I'm grateful for a day off today before we have 3 in a row in Texas, and then we have another day off before we come see you guys in Arkansas. So
I like the little break.
Not too bad.
It's good that we get one break, that day break. Yeah, and Ozark Music Hall, that's August 4th for anyone that's wondering. That's
right.
Those tickets at ozarkmusichall.com. And are you on a tour bus? Are you doing the bus thing?
We are on a bus.
You're in a bus.
I'm right outside it right now. I'm hovering actually against the side of the bus right now to stay out of the sun. I don't know if you can hear the rumbling of the generator, but
oh man, it's so
yeah,
hot.
we're on a bus, and for people that don't know how bus touring life works, well, we got 12 bunks in there.
Wow.
And we also have 12 people, so all the bunks are full, and we sleep on top of each other, and we drive at night and we sleep at night and we wake up in the next city. So it's kind of like time traveling. You just wake up and you're there.
I just talked to the guys from Plain White Tees, and they got in a little bus fire, but they all made it out. It was all safe.
God.
So
Plain White Tees, I didn't hear about a bus fire from the Tees. I mean, those are my old friends. We go back 20 years. And it's like, hey there, Delilah. Oh my God, the bus is on fire. Is that? I don't know. I don't know about that lyric change.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they said but everything was fine. It was a tech that almost didn't get out of the bus. You got to do that.
Jeez.
You got to do that, God. Fire drill head count thing. So, there could be some trauma with that. Everyone is fine. The bus was just, I guess they had some smoke inhalation, but everything was fine. But that's kind of the. That'll get you up and going. They said 2:00 in the morning. Now they are all awake.
That is horrible. No, we haven't had anything. Knock on wood. We find some wood around.
Yeah, I got some for you.
No,
right
we haven't
here.
had anything too serious like that. It's pretty. It's pretty cushy on the bus. I know it doesn't sound all that glamorous, but it could be a lot worse. Like a van, of course. But obviously, yeah, there's plenty of downtime on the road and stuff. But also. There's not that much time in the day when you really boil it down. When by the time you get up, you get in, you do the stuff you got to do, like this press, sound checks, all that, meet and greets, and the show, and all that getting ready. By the time I get back on the bus, I'm pretty cooked and ready to go to sleep. But we've got internet on our bus, and I got sports on, and I was watching all the World Cup games, and I'm a pretty avid baseball fan, so I watch a lot of baseball on the bus. And we usually bring a Wii, and we do Mario Golf. That's kind of our favorite game.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Warped Tour because you all are legends on the Warped Tour. People love seeing you guys on the bill. Are you planning on doing Warped Tour again?
Well, we just did the Long Beach version.
Yeah.
The California version, which we also did last year. And we're doing the Orlando edition later this year, and also Montreal. So those will be really, really fun shows. Especially looking forward to Montreal, because that was one of the biggest ones when we used to do the Warped Tour.
Yeah.
We've done like the third most amount of Warped Tour shows in the brand's history.
That's awesome.
So we are like the real old school, real veterans of the tour. So for us to go back and do these special events, that they're doing now, I mean, and they're way bigger than they used to be. I mean, probably 6, 7, 8 times bigger than they were back in the day. So it's cool to see it, but it's really cool that they've kept the the essence of what made it great alive, and fans are coming out in droves to kind of re-experience that, or a lot of cases experience that for the first time.
Yeah.
As we're seeing so many younger people that were like, oh, well, I was like, I was only like 10 when Warped Tour was around. So, now I'm 20 or I'm 19 and I'm really excited to go. So
did you get to stick around like Warped Tour, like maybe after your set to see a few bands maybe that you hadn't seen live?
We played quite late. This time, not really, unfortunately. It was like, a crazy day with between, doing a signing for the fans, hanging out at the Ghost booth, with one of our sponsors and some good friends of ours, Ghost Energy. And also, I had a whole bunch of interviews to do. So by the time that all happened, I was like, I think I saw a little bit of We Came as Romans. And that was it. But hopefully the schedule is not so grueling in Orlando or Montreal, and I can walk around a little bit and catch up on some new bands.
And so that's the thing you still do. I'm in my 40s. I've talked to a few bands, those researching bands, maybe some older artists, and it's kind of some older people just say, I don't listen to new music anymore. I'm just kind of not into that. But do you still listen to new music? Are you still trying to strive to find new tunes and new artists?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? And the thing is I think that's such a cop-out, people saying that.
Agreed.
Because, dude, it is so easy now. Literally, like, Spotify will help you. You play something, and then it'll just suggest, like, another song. And, like, oh, okay, no, it's not really quite the suggestion I want. You know what? Hit skip, and it will suggest another song for you. Like, and I've found so many great bands from some different playlists that I follow on Spotify. And just like, just even as simple as like, hey, you might like this, and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of that band. So I mean, I think a lot of people they get a little stuck in their ways and they listen to their same old like 5 CDs that they grew up with.
That's right.
And I do that too. But at the same time, there's so many incredible bands coming out right now. I mean, we've got 2 great bands on our tour right now. A band called Origami Angel.
Because I hated myself for so long, just to figure out that it was never my fault. There was something evil inside me, pointing my anger out. All of the things that I thought that'll last, now I'm taking that back.
Absolutely amazing band I've been a fan of for a while, and an artist that I just found out about and we put on the tour. Her name is Allie Nicholas. So also incredible.
Very cool. Very cool. So we get to see them out on tour with you.
Yeah, they'll be there. They'll be there on August 4th. So
yeah,
it's a great show.
And we're running out of time here. I wanted to ask you one last thing, especially if you're all going to be here out at Ozark Music Hall. What's that feeling that fans are going to leave with, take home with on August 4th once they see you all? Is it nostalgia?
Wow.
Is it nostalgia?
Dude, it depends. It depends what you want. I think if you are, maybe in your late 30s or 40s, if you heard Until the Day I Die on the radio, if you were like a scene kid 20 years ago, and you're going and you want to relive that, you will feel that nostalgia. You will feel, that youth energy. But maybe you're not, maybe you're younger, maybe you're just finding out about this stuff like for the first time. And that's even more exciting to me, that there are people that are going to go to this and go, you know what? I was not even aware this music existed. And now I get to discover it again. And that's a beautiful thing. And I love that everything is working together. We have 2 sides of the coin and then kind of everything in between right now. But the name of the game is we want people to come to our shows and have fun. Camp Screamo, we're having a good time out there. It's not overly serious. Music's pretty serious, but we have a good time on stage and we want everybody to have fun. And we just want people to leave like living in the moment, having the time of their life, and escaping from the real world for at least a few hours.
Yes, put the phone down and rock out. That'll be August 4th out at Ozark Music Hall. Shane Told. Man, it is so great. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day and schedule.
Of course, man.
To make some time for me and for the X. We really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you for having me on. And it's always awesome to come down to Arkansas. We don't get to do it all the time. So it's going to be pretty special.
Maybe I'm stressed from the pressure. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I bend or I snap like a fracture. Either I die or I live forever. It would hurt less if I let go of all the bullshit that I can't know. But I'm a mess, I'm a waste, I'm a lost cause. I'm addicted to making it my fault. You can have it all, you can have it all. You can trust me, I will detonate everything that I create. Maybe I'm stressed, maybe I'm stressed. Maybe I'm stressed from the pressure. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I bend or I snap like a fracture. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I'm stressed from the pressure. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I bend or I snap like a fracture. Either I die or I live forever. Try to focus, get my head right, just avoid it and waste more time. I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, I'm a con man. I'm the goat, I'm a god, I am Baphomet. Take it all away, take it all away. You can trust me, I will suffocate every single breath you take. Maybe I'm stressed from the pressure. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I bend or I snap like a fracture. Either I die or I live forever. Yeah, maybe I'm stressed from the pressure. Either I die or I live forever. Maybe I bend or I snap like a fracture. Either I die or I live forever. Another day, pushed to the limit. It's all I can take. This place is a sickness. When all these voices